penalties decline, third down.
Would have come back anyway. But here, take a look at the play, because it's a real good second effort by Pryor. See him up at the top? Okay, inside position right there by Tyree Davis. He has the football, but Pryor won't give up. Even with safety Greg Frere's coming at him, keeps his hand in there and keeps ripping at it. Finally got it out of there. Now, it would have come back because of the holding, so they were punting either way.
Baker angles it away from Travis Moore. He still gets a play on it, and a nice little return down the sideline of 13 yards. 50 yards on the punt. First and 10 Calgary when we return to Montreal.
Okay, so
I know nothing.
We do make a couple mistakes up here.
It's beyond error made. He has done an outstanding job of putting this whole thing together. And I mean, he's hired the right people. Here's Dickinson looking deep. And Travis Moore had tight coverage. He's looking, well, maybe not looking for a penalty.
Davis Sanchez right in his pocket. Where has Travis Moore been? Where has Alan Pitts been? You know what? They've been in the pockets of those guys. Davis Sanchez, Alfonso Roundtree, Baron Miles, Irv Smith, and hey, Winston October's done all right in the safety position as well. You know, let's get back to that field position. First drive for the Calgary Stampeders started on that 21, their own 21 in this second half. But their defense has played well. This drive started 27 yards ahead of that. So that field position battle is starting to go into the favor of the Calgary Stampeders.
Early movement was obvious down there. Charlie Tapp had a hot start, 5 straight victories, and then the last couple of weeks and a few headaches.
Offside, Montreal, number 1, second down repeated.
Kelly Wiltshire.
Well, he's been moving around a lot, trying to confuse the blocking schemes for Calgary. He's lined up in the middle of the formation, then taken off to the outside, and that time he just jumped up into the neutral zone.
Montreal native, he's bilingual, played with the Argos last year, came here as a free agent when the new Toronto regime moved in. Dickinson almost has it intercepted, so Dickinson is off a little bit, off his game tonight.
Yeah, and you know what? He looks like he's starting to force it. He threw it into coverage there.
Baron Miles got his hands on it.
Well, Baron Miles was the guy there, and he was really in good position. Watch the lane, the throwing lane he does have. I want to show you one thing here. Coming across the screen, see that? That's Alan Pitts. Pitts opens up right now. But see the coverage that Baron Miles has right there? You just can't get that ball in there. Travis Moore is covered. If he dumps it off to Alan Pitts, he's got a first down. But he's forcing it a little bit now. He's behind, trying to force that ball. This is a position Calgary hasn't been in very often this year.
Martino nails this one down to the 5 for Winston October. He's taken one all the way back, but not this time. So the Owls will start deep in their own zone. And the enthusiasm here is infectious. We should come here every Friday night.
I'd love to. If you put them all together, let's nominate them for one of the players of the week. Because I think they've been an influence on this Montreal team. They've come out flying. They're winning the battle in the line of scrimmage, and that usually means they're pretty pumped up, and it's because of these fans.
Yeah, in regular season games, the Alouettes have had terrific success in their last 10 unbeaten. The last time to beat Montreal on the turf here, Calgary Stampeders.
And they will be sold out all year long.
Again, the field position battle. Calgary winning a little bit of it here. Here's Cavillo, and he's 0 for his last 5 passes.
Calgary's really starting to win it, John. I mean, this is a drive now starting way back in Montreal's territory. And if Calgary can hold them on this second down, now Montreal has to punt from their own end zone.
Yeah, and Calgary's at worst around the 50-yard line, right?
And where's midfield? So the defense is keeping them in it for the Calgary Stampeders.
Well, they had to have made some interesting adjustments at the half, the defense coordinator Mike Roach and his crew, because Cavillo was very impressive in the late stages of the opening half.
Here they come.
And why not? Big play, far side. Cahoon gets the Alouettes breaks out of a pile of trouble in there. Ben Cahoon made the catch and the run afterwards. And it's a nice 22-yard gain.
Anthony Calvillo just bought back a lot of that field position. He read the blitz. See the safety right there? That's Greg Frere's coming on the blitz. They read it, they picked it up, and a great cut to the outside by Ben Cahoon. That just made up a bunch of that field position that they had lost.
Now, did Coleman overreact on the ball because he took himself out of position there?
Well, it was one of those, what's called a smash route. You go into the middle, then smash back to the outside. Sorry, I didn't mean to step on your toe there.
And then Mike Pringle. Pringle will run all night long. He'll be as strong in the fourth quarter if they need him to take some time off the clock as he is in the first quarter when he's fresh.
Well, yeah.
And sometimes he gets stronger, Glenn.
Well, he does. And he wants the ball. You can't pull him out of the game. And how quickly has he crawled up the ladder in the history of the CFL? Look at some of the seasons he's had. You know, I got him for 4 of the top 6 there.
Yeah, second all-time leading rusher in CFL history in a much shorter career than the leader, George Reed, and he couldn't hang on there.
The umpire was a pick. The official standing right in the middle of the field, you know, in fairness to them, they're just trying to get out of the way. But I think it sort of took, Mike Pringle was trying to look through the official to see the football.
An intense competitor. All-Canadian again last year, 27, Mike Pringle. And you'll see the official here.
Right there, see him duck? Dave Hutton, the umpire, he ducks there. The ball went right over his head, and Pringle couldn't react in time.
So the Alouettes buy a little bit of yardage back from the Stampeders. Baker's kick coming down at the 25. This is Coleman. Marvin Coleman looks for a lane to the outside. Oh, what a tackle. Kelly Wilshire. Superb tackle to prevent Coleman from turning the corner. Stampeders still have lots of time to get back and make this interesting, but they have to get some points here soon in the third quarter. Full slant in pass for Danielson.
See Danielson pointing to his ears. He's saying he's having trouble hearing. They were calling audibles, and that's the crowd again, John. I mean, we talked about it. The crowd is being a big factor. Now they start cheering, and Danielson's on the line of scrimmage. He can't hear the audible from Dave Dickinson.
Danielson had 5. This is 2nd and 5. Dickinson fakes it, and he's wrapped up. Got away. Fires upfield, and no one was home as Dickinson was running for his life.
Oh, you know,
somehow retained his balance back there.
Ron Preston, John, thought the ball was intended for somebody else, and he didn't go after it. I think he came across the field, and he looked like he thought the ball was going to someone else.
So another 2 and out for the Stampeders because of this.
There's the play action. Now Preston, see, he gets through the line and then breaks to the left. By the time Dickinson spins his magic to try and get away, which he does, now he's going to throw the ball down the field, and Preston thinks it's going to someone else. See that ball out in front of him there? He turns and looks. Who's that thrown to?
Steve Charbonneau with the pressure on Dickinson that time. And this is Winston October out near the 35.
Ball taken by Winston October.
He is one tough guy, Dave Dickinson. A little limp over there on the sidelines now. Played last year with a huge shoulder problem. So you want to be a quarterback?
No. Steve Charbonneau twisted him around first, but remember what I told you about Swift Birch at the beginning of the game when we had our little walk? He was talking about hitting Dickinson even if we didn't sack him. Said they wanted to hit him. And that was a hit that's got him on the bench now.
They've sacked him 5 times, and he's taken a couple of hits on other occasions. Alouettes begin at the 35. Not bad for a team with a huge lead. There's a chance for more. Tyree Davis streaking down the right side. And he's spun out by Anthony Pryor.
This is a team with their number 1 and 2 receivers in sick bay. And Captain Calville continues to get it done. Jacques Climby, Alfonso Browning in sick bay. Tyree Davis says, hey, beat me up, baby.
A 50-yard gain setting the Alouettes up at the Stampeder 25. Pringle bounces it to the outside. And there wasn't really much there, but he made nearly 5 yards out of it.
Arrêté par le numéro 4, Darrell Hall. Un gain de 5, 2nd and 5.
They've done a number on him. I mean, 32. But having said that, you look at those numbers, but Calvillo's been putting it up. I mean, he's been going deep and having success, so don't fix it if it's not broken.
You're absolutely right. 2nd and 5. And they'll come up short of the first down.
Calvillo, the ball carrier.
Calvillo has a couple only. Well, this gets rather interesting. Hamilton is in Winnipeg tonight. Saskatchewan and Edmonton, and other games that are underway later than this start. Ticats took over top spot with that win last week over the Alouettes, and they really made Montreal look rather ordinary in a lot of areas of the game with a convincing victory, but this doesn't look like an ordinary team tonight.
Anything but ordinary tonight against a very good football team in Calgary.
Well, the Ticats are coming on again after a couple of stumbles. Hamilton 5 wins, 2 losses at the top. Baker another field goal, and that should be the final play of the 3rd quarter. Terry Baker adds 3 more, and those were all the points scored in the 3rd quarter here in Montreal tonight.
Welcome back to TSN Football Control. It's amazing. Calgary, an undefeated football team, they come into Montreal and get pounded like this. Why is Montreal such a tough place to play?
Well, it's always difficult to go on the road. You've got hotels and different pills and all that stuff. But Montreal's a very unique city. Unlike any city in North America, maybe with the exception of New Orleans, there are a lot of distractions, a lot of nightlife in Montreal. And trust me, I know. I spent 3 years there, and fortunately, I partook of most of the distractions, Matty.
I'm guilty too, Eric. Guilty too. Know about that nightlife out there in Montreal. Hey, with Montreal, soon to be Pringle time. Time is running out on Calgary. Pretty soon we're going to see Mike Pringle be pounding up in the tackles, chewing up that clock, Chris.
Obviously so, but I tell you what, it really impresses me. I haven't seen Dave Dickinson hurry in the pocket like this. They shut down Calvin Anderson. This is nothing fancy. This is just Montreal executing really good football, James.
Really impressive performance. Want to quickly update you on the 2 other games going on tonight. Let us begin out in Winnipeg, Ticats and the Bombers. And this just happened moments ago. It would be one George Jones. 2nd touchdown of the game. And just like that, the Bombers have taken the lead over the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Hamilton had won 8 straight games over the Bombers coming into this one. 24-21 is your score. Early 2nd quarter action in that one. Actually, they're getting close to the half now. The other game, Saskatchewan and Edmonton. This one just underway there in the 1st quarter, still scoreless. Once again, Saskatchewan desperate to break that long winless streak.
After 3 quarters, the numbers we have so far. Net yards for the Stampeders, 119. And that compares to 405 for the Alouettes, including 349 passing.
Yeah, look at the bottom of that, too. 5 plays over 50 yards. We talked about Calvillo. It's going up top.
Great atmosphere here tonight. Everyone's having a good time except Wally Buono. Well, Dave Dickinson has been shaken up. That means Troy Kopp comes in for the Calgary Stampeders. We'll get an update from Brent Wallace on Dickinson's injury as soon as we can. Penalty markers go down. That's Rock Preston, 14, the ball carrier. Hey, Brent, what have we got?
Well, John, it appears that Dave Dickinson has strained a knee ligament. They're going to keep him out of the game as precautionary reasons.
Okay, more problems for the Stampeders. A holding call there.
Well, things can change in a hurry for you, can't they? I mean, you're cruising along with pretty much the perfect season going on. You haven't lost a game, and then all of a sudden you're behind in Montreal, hostile environment, and now your starting quarterback is banged up a little bit.
First and 20 for Troy Kopp at the controls for the Stampeders. That one might have been tipped just ever so slightly, and Travis Moore couldn't bring it down. I'm looking at these scores coming in here, and I see why you've retired as a prognosticator of sorts. You know, picking the scores every week, so you're not doing that anymore.
I'm out.
You're out. Yeah, it was a good year to quit because you should check out the Bombers' score at this point. There's a long way to go there, of course.
Yeah.
And this is a bit surprising to me, particularly the dominance of the Alouettes thus far. Kopp was off the mark on back-to-back tosses. Pitts was the target over there on the far side.
He's very lucky that that was underthrown, or Alfonso Roundtree has lit up the scoreboard again. Because he had a way better chance at that football than Alan Pitts did. It was way underthrown and it bounced.
Well, Kopp has not seen much action, although he did get into the game last week for a bit because Dickinson built up an early lead over Winnipeg. But the Alouettes have dominated, and that makes this a fun place to be tonight with a full house at Percival Molson Stadium. Flags are down as Martino gets a short one away. And look at Winston October dance. Another marker down on the return, however. So penalty flags all over the place.
I thought an Alouette jumped outside. That's what it looked like to me. I think there was two flags. One at the line of scrimmage, one back at the returner, Winston October.
It's third and half the field, so it's not going to make much difference, right?
Well, no, they just punted again because that wasn't a real great punt.
No, it wasn't a good punt.
So the Stampeders will want that second shot at it, I'm sure, if in fact it was Montreal that jumped offside.
Well, if there's a better place to watch the football game in Canada, I don't know where it is. Maybe Saint-Paul, Quebec. Remember we were there last year?
Yeah,
For the at Laval. Rouge et Or, they won the game. The place was absolutely loaded.
Offside, Montreal. Penalties decline. Illegal block, Montreal. It'll be first down.
Now, the place was loaded with fans, and the fans were loaded with fun. Saint Paul last fall, as the Rouge et Or won that day and went on to win the Vanier Cup. Another Quebec team doing well on home. See you live it and check in with us on the internet, tsn.ca/CFL. All the news will be there.
Everything you need to know. Canadian Football League, right there.
Attention in the west end zone. Try to catch
Alouettes have the ball again.
TXT surprises.
And it's a first down Montreal near the 45.
Well, you get the feeling that the Calgary Stampeders are going to need a turnover. Something that'll change momentum for them because they're getting beaten down now. The Owls are going to continue to run the ball at them. Burn up this clock. They're struggling offensively and their starting quarterback's not there. If they don't get a turnover, interception, something like that, this one will be over. It's got to happen soon.
Well, I don't know where most of the credit goes for the Alouette performance tonight. I mean, defensively, they've done a pretty good job shutting down the top-rated offense in the league. And then offensively, plays like that, Calvino has been on the money, and he's moved the football and taken time off the clock.
First of all, John, I would say they fed off this crowd. That's number one.
Yeah.
They really have. Second of all, some of the guys, the backup roles, the practice roster players have come in and replaced starters and stars on this team and really stepped it up. And we're talking, of course, about Kevin Alexander.
Yeah, another catch there, 2 touchdowns tonight. And they haven't missed a beat with the changes they were forced to make because of injury on offense.
But I think it all started because they fed off the enthusiasm of this crowd.
That was another first down. Here's Pringle turning the corner, and he'll have a 7-yard gain. He took a hammering on the far side, just the other side of the hash marks.
You know, there's not enough ice in Montreal for the players tonight. He gets up like it's nothing. That's no big deal.
Well, he is
But I'll
an
tell you something.
intense competitor. There is no doubt about that.
That would put any average guy in the hospital. This puts the average man in the hospital. This hit at the end of this play from Ray Jacobs. I mean, watch this. Pow! Any average guy gets that hit, you're out for a month. You're gone.
Calvillo on 2nd and 3. Cahoon has the first down.
Call 911. Honestly.
Oh, you're going to call 911?
If you get hit like that, call 911. Pringle he just brushes it off, gets back in the huddle. No problem.
First down, Montreal.
Well, looks like the Alouettes are back. If that 2-game skid had some of their fans a little bit concerned.
Full credit to this football team and that man, Charlie Taft. Got him ready to play. He's a disciplinarian. Looks for top performance from his players, not only on the game field, but also on the practice field on every play.
Calvillo with a pretty nice fake, and he had the play. Tyree Davis couldn't hang on.
We had him on the football show just recently, and it was a great chat with Charlie Taft because I asked him about his feelings and if he's having fun, and he's halfway through his 2nd year as a head coach in the Canadian Football League, and I loved his answer. And he has so much respect for the players that play the game. He told me it's a limited roster, and these guys have to love it. They have to just love the sport to go out there and play all the special teams. And he says, and the CFL is so exciting.
Calvillo had that one batted down, and then he jumped high in the air, basketball style, to hammer it into the turf so it couldn't be intercepted. Well, you were tearing up when you told me about your Charlie Taft interview.
Well, it was great because he goes, he talks about the respect he has for the players, and then when he goes on about the league and how much he enjoys it and how much it is so much fun to be on the sideline with the excitement that can happen in the Canadian Football League, and we've seen a lot of it tonight.
I hate to tell you this, but that's the 5th time you told me that Charlie Taft story.
But that wasn't really for your benefit.
Oh,
I know you've heard it. You've heard all my stories.
And it was on football last week, so I hope a whole bunch of people saw it. Baker will have it spotted at the 46. And he's wide. Stampeders will give up a point, however, and try and regroup in the final 9 minutes and 59 seconds of the final quarter. Alouettes run a nice little roll on home turf at Molson Stadium. It's Adidas Friday Night Football.
Welcome back to TSN Tonight. I'm Rod Smith. In baseball, the Blue Jays opening up a weekend series in Arlington, Texas. 2.5 behind Boston in the American League wild card race. Bottom of the 4th, man on 3rd with 1 out. David Wells striking out Gabe Kapler. And then his old teammate Ricky Leday to strand Chad Curtis at 3rd. Good chance falls by the wayside for Texas. No score through 4th. 5th inning, Jays. Men in the corners, 2 out. Shannon Stewart, soft liner to 2nd. The Jays can't convert either. 0-0. That one now in the 5th inning. We'll have more baseball on Sports Desk, and we'll also have the story from a busy day in the Canadian Football League. As you know, 3 games. And Tiger Woods, a 61 of the NEC Invitational, 11 Eastern, 8 Pacific time. Other baseball I can tell you about. The Yankees trailing Oakland 1-0. That one in Oakland. That one in the 3rd inning. And the Red Sox and the Royals, they are tied at 2 in the bottom of the 6th. And we'll head back to Montreal right after this break.
Hi, do you have any mozzarella?
Sorry, we're all out.
Give me a pound of mozzarella.
How about some nice provolone?
Where's all the mozzarella? Well...